Um, okay, 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 okay. We're streaming basically. Yes, it seems we have finally came here once again. Wow, wow, the bot is working. Wow, let me say, wow. I guess. I don't know. It feels kind of a long time since the last occasion that I streamed, but I don't know. What the fuck is the audio? Is this working properly? I guess. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, let me. Yeah, I think we don't have that much more to do so far. Aside from, well, as always, hello everybody. I guess in a sense I am a little bit, not tired, but it is already overwhelming to see how much we are doing here. Working, working on literally one drawing. Oh man, this is crazy. But yeah, we have to keep going, I guess. But anyways, sorry for making it seem kind of negative. The point is, hello everybody, once again welcome to this place where now we are doing simply art. It seems, I don't know. We have transformed into an art channel. But yeah, here we are, basically. As always, hello everybody, hello bot watchers, lurkers, every single one. And well, also, yeah, as I said, the bot seems to be working, so I hope it can keep working as it is doing right now. Anyways, without any more to really add, I might as well transition into here. Let me do that. And yeah, here we are. Man, we have to continue with this. Wait, I want to try something. What will happen if I were to utilizing this particular tool, do something of this sort? I guess everything will get destroyed, no? Yeah. Everything gets completely destroyed, you know? Instantaneously destroyed, even. But damn. I guess, yeah. I didn't expect it to be that intense. Well, maybe it has something to do with quality, not with what is the word? With with the size of the brush or something of that sort. I don't know. Anyways, the point is, I think it was okay. Greta, you were okay. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Why is Greta crashing, my man? Why is Greta trying to crash so much? Out of nowhere, almost. Too? Huh? Greta, my dear. Okay, okay. I guess I don't know. Anyways, we have to continue doing the. So far, we were simply doing the law, so I might as well simply keep moving with that. Greta, what is going on? Greta, why are you not working? Anyways, I guess I was trying to think what to talk about. I found, particularly for this case, some interesting topics, quote unquote interesting topics. And I was trying to make them be as good as they can be, in a sense, and as I don't really know what more to talk about sometimes. I guess it is bound to happen, mostly because, I mean, I truly, yeah, I tend to talk more than what I would have ever expected over here. I mean, in a sense, I am surprised. Before starting with anything really, I was surprised to see how much I ended up talking over here, let's say, in the sense of I wouldn't have expected almost ever to be as talkative as I am. I would have kind of guessed that it was bound to happen because, I mean, when I am socially with other people, I tend to, if it is given a possibility to me, I tend to not really shut up that much. So yeah, I guess it is very nice to finally have that possibility be never ending, as one would say. Because, being there and being capable of talking about whichever thing it is that one has an interest on is certainly, at the very least, how I see it, a gift. I mean, after that, there is almost literally nothing aside from obviously going by the Dutch rules and all of that. I think that isn't even a problem for me, but there is no literally particular reason that can make me or force me to not talk about, I don't know, if I have an interest now, how incredibly good it could be to, as I did yesterday, for example, something that is related to substances on one hand, something that is related to entertainment on the other hand, something that might as well feel like a completely negative case. Something, for example, I can talk about how incredibly horrible everything is in quote unquote society. Obviously, it doesn't make what I am saying be correct, but simply the possibility itself is what makes the act or the chance of doing so interesting, let's say. And I don't know. I guess yeah, we have kind of created something amazing with all of this internet world. Nobody would have ever expected to have so much freedom. In other times, I will probably say. And I mean, I understand that the argument gets made about not having that much freedom, quote unquote, but in reality, you really need to try and go for truly negative topics from any perspective to find yourself being limited by the platforms in which you inhabit, let's say. Because you can even, for example, here, something that society itself doesn't really do that much, but that you can personally do is try to talk about something as incredibly negative as is suicide, no? And as long as you're capable of doing it with a proper view, instead of saying, wow, you should kill yourself now, instead of doing it that way, you can give an stance and you can make a good, what is it? You can make a good talk about it, and literally nothing bad is going to happen, aside from obviously the repercussions that might happen afterwards if somebody were to see it, and if somebody were to lack the whole context about what it was that you were particularly talking about in that instance and all of those things. Something that might as well be more common than what we can approximate, but still, I mean, to a certain degree, it is also part of being on internet that you need to understand that maybe things are going to be taken out of context, no matter what you do, let's say. And to believe that somehow that shouldn't apply to you might end up being simply an error, more related to a side of, I mean, unless you really believe that the whole world is trying to be aggressive towards you particularly, the common thing is somebody takes out of context something that you particularly said because they believe that you were, as I said before, making a bad case about something. And in some occasions, I mean, here you are not for us. This isn't, for example, unless it is a bot. And still, even if it is a bot, you have literally no obligation whatsoever to watch the whole bot and to go through the whole otherwise stream if it is that you are watching it live. And not this one, every single content created, for example, on Twitch, that might as well get re-uploaded somewhere else afterwards. And what happens is, sadly, you might as well not you. We don't have really the capacity of sometimes understanding that people might simply want to see a particular part. And I guess it is more bound to happen or to happening in other areas, let's say, and in other spaces where people might as well not even want to try and lose overall their time. trying to see if you are going to talk about or not, and to give an opinion or not on different topics that they particularly like. But here, rather, you have the complete chance of doing something of that sort. And while also doing something of that sort, it is that you can notice that you might as well find people, because of the nature of this, completely skipping over some parts that you could have considered important. But I mean, also, although you don't have the possibility of manipulating how people consumes what you create, you still have a chance of, let's say, making the proper arrangements for everybody to try and follow a path that you might as well have an intention to be followed. As although the example might not be that good, because we're comparing something completely different with this. Even a movie has a certain story to follow. You could try to watch, and some very particular movies have a composition where you can literally go from anywhere on it to any other part that you want, and not worry about almost losing sense of what the real message is, because it might as well have not simply one message, but rather a whole arrangement of them. But commonly, if you were to try and jump around a movie, let's say, if you were to not start from the start itself, but rather to jump directly into the finish line, or directly into the half of it, without having watched the rest of the movie, obviously, you're going to find that you are not going to understand what is being talked about. And you can try to make the same thing here. I mean, something of that same sort that has that same kind of nature, more properly is, for example, a lecture. You can try to skip a lecture, and you can try to go to a part completely at random if you were acknowledged with the topic at hand in that lecture. But if not, you might as well want to watch as much as you can from all sides for the sake of getting all the knowledge and putting all the lecture itself together in your mind, as it is something that might as well tries to follow any particular structure whatsoever. And by believing that you have no obligation whatsoever of doing something of that sort, might as well be kind of damaging. Not that I guess I know. I mean, it is a very crucial part of education to make things have a certain type of structure. You can't grasp every single one of the concepts of any particular area of knowledge without a proper understanding about other similarly related ones, let's say. But I don't know. I will kind of say, for that same sense or purpose, that in some other occasions, it also happens. Let's say like this. One of the few things that I think might as well have a possibility of not following that type of a structure, most of the time, is art. Unless what you are creating is intended to be seen from a particular perspective, or is intended to be observed from, let's say, from any particular viewpoint or stuff of that sort. What the fuck I am drawing? Let's say here. Let me. I think I can finally do some representation of my idea here. You don't have no obligation whatsoever of, as soon as you watch this image, saying, okay, I will concentrate on this, or I will concentrate on this over here, or I will concentrate only on the sky. You have no obligation whatsoever. You choose whatever it is that you want, and unless before you have the possibility of watching it, I tell you to search first and foremost for anything in particular, or not for anything, for something in particular. You are given the possibility of watching whatever it is that you want. I guess in that same sense also I will try to think about how much of a possibility it is that we have about trying to do or not the same with all of the things related to, let's say, to movies, because in a sense also a movie has the context of being images tied together, obviously, by the act itself of they being filmed, and obviously given a certain type of structure, yes, but another type of problem is maybe in that sense it is that sometimes not having that context makes it kind of hard to follow. I would say I don't completely see it that from that side, but maybe it is more like that than to simply believe that, yeah. Okay, let's say like this. Maybe in the movie you have also the obligation of telling directly or indirectly, if it is possible, to the spectator how it is that they should be enjoying what it is that you are creating, no? But I don't know. I guess very, very amazing to see it, and very amazing to notice what a grandiose opportunity it is to be here. I will probably say, in a sense, that maybe what can create that particular type of separation where you have no obligation whatsoever of understanding what is happening is when you're playing a video game. Not in the sense that a video game has no structure, but rather that going back into what I said on lectures, if you really know about a certain type of video game, you have no obligation whatsoever of trying to follow the pre-established patterns and the pre-established sense of enjoyment that it has, as you already know what needs to be done and you only have a certain type of interest aside from the mainly presented one, or the original intention, let's say. But I don't know, I guess in that same sense, or well, no, not that I don't know, sorry. The point is, maybe in those cases it could happen that by trying to do something minimally similar to any type of activity that can be properly understood, let's say, as a video game, I guess even here, art, for example, is also something that those who know about it don't have a necessity of trying to follow anything in particular because they know how it all works. So, you, for example, here, although it isn't the most regular way to do it, you can follow and you can understand that what I am trying to do is simply to create what is it? The grass on a field, no? So you have, once again, no obligation whatsoever of trying to follow what I am doing, as you already know what is happening and you already have a knowledge about it. Therefore, if you were to, let's say, tune out or to fade away for 5-10 minutes and you were to come back, and after doing this, you were to find me doing, I don't know, straight lines over here and drawing houses and drawing all of that, because you also hold the knowledge about it, you have literally no necessity whatsoever of trying to say or trying to ask what is going on right now. I might as well have lost my way somewhere and I need to catch up with what was happening. I mean, yeah, kind of in that sense. I wouldn't, yeah, the question is, I wouldn't know if it is a problem or not to have that possibility open. I mean, in a sense, gladly enough, people has the chance of literally doing whatever they need to do and coming back into a stream and finding that they can still follow what was happening, compared to, for example, if you're watching a movie, or as I said before, yeah, if you're watching a movie, if you're watching something of what is it? Something more quote unquote academic, all of that stuff, you might as well, if you fade out, you will need either to restart, or in this case, probably to have to see what was the last thing that you understood and try to put once again the whole picture together, let's say. But I don't know, I don't think it is that completely negative. Rather, I am simply somehow making it sound more negative than what it really is, no? When in reality it isn't that much of a big problem. I mean, rather it is the opposite. You know that you have people, let's say like this, without being so direct, you have people who can do whatever it is that they want and still come here. and find that what you're doing is still entertaining because they can understand what is going on. In most of the cases, I guess for that same purpose, it is also necessary to, particularly here on Twitch, utilize the categories, I would say, as if you don't have them, it only makes the task of seeing and properly, not guessing, but rather applying the knowledge that you have directly down into what is being done on the screen, let's say. But I don't know. That is where my knowledge ends, probably. Or my conjecture ends more than my knowledge. I never really have even thought about it from that point of view, I guess. I mean, very interesting to see that, for example, you can have people doing whatever they want and showing still what you are creating later on. And yeah, I guess it is that same reason why you have people joining and not even needing to ask you what is going on, as they already understand what is the main thing going and what is transpiring now and what it is that you are focusing yourself now on, I guess. But I don't know, kind of crazy to see it from that side, as it feels less natural than other type of things, I guess. That's why it is kind of weird, I say. But I don't know. Do I have something else to add to that? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, that was basically something. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Content watching or something of that sort. I don't know. Let me. Okay, here we are. Once again, back to here. I was thinking today, I was trying to put some of my attention towards the. I think I have said it already, I believe, or if not, I have thought so much times about talking about it and ways in which I can engage in this conversation here that my mind already said, wow, you have already talked about this, when in reality I might have not. So anyways, I have finished watching some lectures about a certain interest of mine, and I found it incredibly amazing how much we lack a proper teachings about almost how necessary it is to keep learning and to keep finding interesting stuff to keep the brain going, let's say, in the sense of not that we are killing the brain if we are not doing something of that sort, but rather that it as well might as well represent one of the most beautiful things to keep learning, because later on, I have said many times, you can integrate what you learn from one perspective and use it in so many other areas 90% of the time, 80% of the time, if you really want to go low, that it ends up being incredibly helpful to also teach people the possibility that is and the gift that is to do something of that sort. I don't know, I would believe that maybe, not that, now I remember, I thought about it from this perspective. Not that the problem is we are not having a good educational system predicated on that, but rather the assumption was we have no real obligation of showing people how much of a benefit it is. And one of the few other things that I remember now, or that adds to what I am trying to talk about, was, for example, the usage, or basically learning and afterwards the usage of that particular knowledge of, or about how to properly intake information from any type of data analysis that is made. As I would say like this, one of the most advanced ways to truly get good proofs about proofs, about what it is that you are trying to learn, not simply opens to you the chance of even more in that occasion, exploring what you are trying to talk about, but also gives away the possibility, let's say, of seeing and finding another things that you might as well not have even thought about, not because you lack the capacity, but rather because as individuals we only tend to see things from our personal perspective, let's say, and if we can't do anything of that sort, so naturally we end up needing to see and to extract our vision from where we are, and yeah, not to the average, as in wow, very superior people, no, the 90% of the society might as well lack the capacity of doing something of that sort. As I mean, it is once again another one of those tools that we don't possess. Therefore, getting knowledge from outside and integrating it into what you know ends up being rather helpful in that sense of now you can also see connections between things that before didn't even seem to be related, but now you can incredibly more properly utilize them, I guess. But I don't know. It goes back into the problem of how do you teach it without making it be such a boring thing, let's say, because at the end of the day, you can learn, but the main problem is also getting bored while you're learning. Because most of the time, for example, I don't think the educational system fails to teach, as in it fails to give any proper kind of knowledge, but rather it fails to be entertaining, and it fails to be attention grabbing enough to the degree to which kids, for example, or not for example, what is the vast majority of the humans there, kids, lose the capacity of following whatever it is that is being talked about, because it is so incredibly dense on information. And I mean, I don't know. In that sense, I can only say, yeah, that I don't know how you can make any particular topic interesting with real sense, not simply saying, wow, you simply grab what seems to be the best parts and you make it interesting, but rather something of the sort of, I don't know, maybe you can try to do it by, I don't know, I don't think it is really possible to solve. Not that it isn't possible to solve the problem, rather, once again, for connecting with what I was saying, I might as well lack the proper knowledge to try and embark on such a concept myself. I will guess that the necessary thing is to believe that what you're learning about might bring you any particular benefit. Therefore, because you notice the intrinsic value of that thing, it is that you can also put into activity the areas in your brain that are related to seeing that, because now you have a certain type of reason behind it, you might as well have a necessity over integrating out of those knowledges into anything particular to you, no? But I don't know. I can't properly explain it completely, let's say. I can try to guess mostly that in the vast majority of the occasions, people might find similarly related stuff to be also not so attention grabbing, because you already know about something. How it is that you, after watching, for example, one lecture, you're going to integrate something so completely new into what you know. I don't think it is a problem of the ego, but rather a problem of the presentation itself. Maybe we could try to create a system, not try to create as if we don't have it. It could be that I don't know about it. A system in which you properly categorize all of the different knowledges that are going to be presented to in a class for whoever it is that wants to go there, whoever, and they now have the possibility of going there and saying, wow, this was truly interesting. Now I can see that, for example, let me try to come up with something real. you can study car mechanics, and you can be quote unquote a master at it, or at the basics. But in this new particular class, now you're also going to learn about the most minute details of how brakes work, and how, if you were to have the proper tools, you can increase the performance of your brakes in the case of you needing them to work more than the average, or not even that you will have a necessity over it, but imagine, for example, in the case of brakes working better than average, the overall benefit that is for you also to have something like that being present in your car, as it also gives you the possibility of avoiding whenever it is that you will need them, the type of thing that you will never know, because you might as well not even be aware if somebody is going to be drunk the next time that you drive on the streets, and because of that you will need to utilize them, although you might as well have not even believed that it was going to be a possibility. Stuff of that sort might as well give you a possibility of seeing, wow, this is truly interesting to integrate. And I guess the presentation is the most important part, I would say, but not simply the presentation. How all of those things can also be related into everything else, no? But yeah, I don't know. That is once again what I was saying. I don't know the real proper way to do it, and how much, for example, I think, yeah, I might be having a problem of resourcing more to creativity than what really is creative or not. I mean, for example, I don't know if it is a resourceful teacher will not have any problem about doing it, or more like a creative teacher, because to a certain degree you need to make things that to the naked eye might not even seem related be related, and because of that same quality is that you now can create a sense of necessity over what you're selling. Kind of you need to pitch your ideas in that sense. You need to pitch your class to make it interesting enough for the sake of your students being not only entertained, but being there for a particular reason. That is, let's say, your class providing any type of concept that seems powerful enough to integrate into what they already have as a map of knowledge in their brains, in their memories, into whatever. But I don't know. That is once again what I was saying. I don't know. Okay. I think I will drink some water after. Let me do this. That is the next thing that I will do. That is what I know I will do. Drink water. Okay. Let me drink water. Very fine. Oh man. I was okay before truly talking about anything of interest. I was thinking before about integrating anything of the sort of different types of grass, but I seem to have found a proper solution to that interest of mine without having to go here and click all of these different colors and spend so much time trying to recreate what I already did there, but now over here. So yeah, very very nice. I will guess. Okay, let me. Yeah. Before continuing, I will try to integrate all of what I already did for the sake of having it look better. Let's say. I don't know. How does this look? No, this not. This one not. This one is horrible for this particular tool. A basic blur here. Blur. 60. No, my man. It isn't blur also. I guess it is basic. Let me see. No. How can you not? Yeah, no. This one isn't also what I am searching. Which one is it that I use? Pixelize? No. Smear? It was? No. Texture soft. Texture, I guess? I will guess. No. This texture, no. What what did I use to make this thing over here? Was it maybe it was water pattern, but on a tiny enough model. Let me see. Let's make it 20. No, let's see. 20, and does it work properly? No. It makes, well, I mean, it makes stuff not look so bad. I guess the only problem is that I left kind of too much space in between things, no? More than anything else. That's why it kind of looks bad, But let me see. Does it look really odd? I mean, it is more like a blur. Over here, for example, you can't even understand what was under that part. Which thing did I utilize for doing that before? Man, I love not categorizing my tools properly. Pixelize, knife, dodge, color, blender, blue, basic, rake. I might as well go with smear. Let me see. Yeah, I guess it was smear. I will guess. I don't know. Anyways, continue with something of interest, of minimal interest, instead of going crazy over different stuff, kind of non-related. I was thinking, and I was once again putting the brain to work, trying to see, and trying to more than anything else find what could be good topics. And the problem is, I think personally, or not simply on my case, I guess everybody has a certain type of struggle, that is to see what can be interesting without putting their own interest also in the mix, let's say. As in, I think it happens that at least in my case, that is what I want to say, at least in my case, I know that I can't talk about stuff that doesn't bring me any particular interest whatsoever. I guess I wouldn't say I have the lack, simply I have the desire to talk about different stuff compared to what I don't think I am non-average. I simply, the average that I represent is a different type of average, let's say like that. And I don't know, I guess it is kind of crazy to say that sometimes people really has no interest over any particular topic that one might as well try to talk about, let's say. And I guess, yeah, in that sense, also, the kind of sad thing is to have to come into acceptance of that. Because not every single time, in some occasions it simply happens that one acts out of boredom once again, but in other occasions, I guess, the desire is to create something good, and if what one tries to make good fails to be of that sort simply because, let's say, one is somehow holding it back by putting too much of a personal interest behind it, in those occasions I think it is kind of sad to see that we are failing so badly. I would say, but I don't know. I still say that we are doing quote unquote badly without really meaning that we are failing completely. Wow, this is so bad. It simply happens that nature, my man, nature, crazy stuff, crazy events that are what is unforeseen, but yeah, very nice. I mean, that is also part of the process, to see what type of thing really has any particular potential and which type of thing doesn't have it. I mean, if not, an artist, for example, will literally draw whatever it is that he wants, not that they will try to put any thought behind creating any particular piece. But yeah, I don't know. Let me work into this now. Yeah, it kind of failed when I use simply 1 pixel is extra, so I might as well go back into this 3 pixel wide and try to, first and foremost, before advancing, fix all the blank space that is over here. Anyways, I don't know. Oh, well, what I know is that I am getting kind of stiff neck because I forgot to stretch properly. That is what I know. Starchy potato is becoming vegetarian potato at this point. Amazing thing to see and to experience, you know. But yeah, also, for example, something that has been happening recently, at least here in Argentina, is we have a certain type of necessity over getting once again the COVID vaccine going. I think it was kind of negative word to say, fuck. Anyways, I already said it. The vaccine going for the virus. Wow, which virus? That virus. The one that you have in your mind. The one that happened in 2021. No, 2020. That type of virus. We have a certain type of necessity in the sense of we're once again getting another wave of people getting sick with it. And I guess, not that I guess, what I see is very crazy that we're not properly spreading awareness about it. We're simply saying, you can or you cannot, you have no obligation whatsoever of taking this, when in reality, I don't know, I guess that is part of being to be a kind of not so aggressive nation, to not truly tell your own people that they have an obligation of taking care of themselves. But I don't know, I wouldn't truly say that if you were to tell me to take care of what I have, it is bad. I mean, it rather sounds very nice to see and to hear that you have an interest over my well-being, and that you want me, as somebody who forms part of what you are creating in your society, be it a simple nation or be it a kingdom, to take care of myself. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I can't truly say what are the reasons behind not properly propagating, in this case, awareness, you know, but I don't know. I guess, yeah, in a sense, I mean, I have the proper guess, as in, I know that sadly we're nowadays truly terrified of consequences from the masses getting angry to when they get told to do something and they misinterpret what you are saying, or your message rather was not properly crafted, you know. And in those moments they sadly have to deal with the consequence of not they, kind of you as the quote unquote governor or the president or the king, whatever it is. You have to deal with the consequence of seeing that now your people is going to get incredibly angry at you because you are at least to their eyes presenting an idea that makes no sense whatsoever. But I don't know. I think yeah, in that sense, obviously what matters the most is to try your best to make your message understandable. I mean, even more if you know that what you're going to talk about is not easily comprehensible by default. Why would you not try to make it worth hearing, let's say? As I guess, if your intentions are good, why not try to make them also be noticeably good, not simply good only for you, but rather noticeably good, not in the sense in which you are going to, for example, iterate into what you're saying, but I am coming from a place of understanding, and if you can see it, you are wrong. No, simply to show people that, you know what, you're going to try and give them something good, and if they don't want it, they are capable of doing whatever it is that they want with their lives. At the end of the day, for example, getting vaccinated, maybe if you said that it isn't necessary, you are going to die. And I won't even tell you any other reason in the sense of you still needing to do it. Aside from, I mean, obviously, I guess, yeah, kind of that is the conclusion that this particular nation reached, you know? I mean, yeah. Badly or sadly enough, it isn't that you can simply die or go yourself and die, but rather that You might as well be part of the problem if you decide to not participate in something so necessary for the whole survival of the species, let's say. Because although we are only but one of the many human nations that exist in this world, we are still humans, and at the end of the day, if you don't take care of yourself, and you said that the rest might as well also have no necessity whatsoever of taking care of themselves, you're propagating that message not truly, because in a certain sense, not every single one of the things that gets said out there is truly intended to manipulate the masses, but simply it happens that what you're talking about might as well bring harm because you're not properly fulfilling your actions as a part of society. But I guess, yeah, going back to it, in a sense, another good type of solution would be you can not get vaccinated, but you might as well be now part of a society in which people like you find their ideas to connect with one another, instead of living here where you have rules to follow, and if you decide to not follow them, you're bringing a damage to the overall already existing peace that we have, you know? But I don't know. I guess that is the kind of crazy thing to see how to truly solve those problems, as it always happens, you know? But yeah, here we are, progressing a little bit simply. Now I guess, yeah, I am kind of bored of that, so let me start with this. I guess, yeah, before really continuing, I will try to stretch my neck because I am incredibly in pain. Oh man, I'm also getting water. I will. Give me a second. Okay, we have, oh man, what a nice thing it is to stretch. We have to continue with this. I don't know. I have been also thinking about where to continue with learning. In my personal case, I guess it is crazy to see how many things can be learned. I guess that is kind of the problem of information available nowadays. We have so many things that one could try to go for that really deciding which one is the most valuable one is the problem itself. Because sadly, or I don't know if sadly in the sense of, wow, what a sad thing, but simply sadly in the sense of there are too many things to try and learn about. There are also too many interesting concepts, I guess. It is it is truly overwhelming. And the possibilities and the wishes to even more in those moments go directly for the closest one gets truly hard to go against. As you also, for example, you learn about one thing that seems interesting, and also this other new concept seems interesting to also dedicate some time to learn. And also, if you were to, for example, see and to spend some time learning not only about it, but about the next one, you could end up finding that maybe in the most occasions you will have the possibility of finding something that might as well be correlated to it, and I don't know. You have to, let's say like this, going back to what I presented before, a way in which you can make presentations about concepts interesting, you have to do it by yourself when it isn't done by people, and because of that, it gets incredibly crazy, because if you don't really know what it is that you're going to learn about, or you don't have an understanding about the topic itself, you only know, for example, the title, you need to guess how it is that you can find a usage for that. But rather, if you didn't even need to think about it, in the sense of, yeah, you have in front of you the completely well presented new topics that are going to be discussed, and you can decide or not if you are going to engage in them or not, but there is no obligation whatsoever to do anything of that sort, I guess. And the crazy thing is, it might as well also, for example, continuing with what I was trying to say before, it might as well also open up the possibility of giving people the chance of not having to worry about if what they are learning has or no any particular utility, and they only will need to believe, not to believe, to properly integrate what they are now deciding to learn into the rest of their knowledge. But I don't know. It might as well be part of the process to have it like that existing, maybe. I mean, we are still humans, and removing so much freedom might feel bad, but probably if you were to explain your reasons, I don't think people is going to get angry, because you're trying to facilitate the act of learning, as you also see a necessity over it, instead of simply letting it be as it is right now, and letting it exist as it does right now, and stuff going not so badly in the sense of we're not learning anymore, but simply not so stuck as we are nowadays, let's say. But yeah, kind of crazy. Let me progress over here. I haven't done anything on this part so far. But yeah, I don't know. Most of the time, what I can simply conclude is I don't know. Yeah, I have a topic that seems interesting, but I will need kind of a minute to properly phrase it to not sound so fucking weird. Give me a second. Let me also drink water in the meanwhile. I have always had this idea of the act of watching people do what they like the most being something truly interesting. And I believe, not simply that I believe, but rather I know that it gives you the possibility, after, in my case, having done so many times, gives you the chance of extracting information from those people as if they were kinds of examples about how different, almost at the end of the day, use were to engage in those activities that they also find interesting, let's say. And in that same sense, it also happens that although some things are not truly applicable to oneself life, the simple acceptance of those things containing a part, let's say, that gives you the chance of trying to apply that particular knowledge. Let me try to find a proper example. Something like, okay, here for example, although you are not an artist, you might as well find it interesting to watch something of this sort, because you can see somebody, quote unquote, trying their best for the sake of fulfilling their visions, no? And because of that same reason, it is that you can take advantage of the time that you spend watching something of this sort, let's say, instead of believing that you are only getting entertained. And I mean also, the truth is, you are still getting incredibly entertained. If you watch those things that you want the most, the only kind of problem is you need to be truly critical about what is beneficial to you to watch and what is not, in a sense, because at first you might, something that I keep hearing, you might believe that you know what you want, but simply it happens that it isn't true. And the sad thing is, you might as well need to dispose of those other things that you, in other occasions, believed were your interests, and rather focus on those new things that you see being really, I don't know if an essential part, but at the very least a beneficial part to try and integrate in your life. And I don't know, kind of crazy to see it from that side, I will say. And yeah, I mean, I would kind of say also very, very happy to see it being like that. At the end of the day, the simple possibility of being in places like that one, and the simple possibility of exploring concepts like that one, is more than rewarding already. I can't properly, not that I can't properly explain, it simply gets created from the experience. How many benefits you gain from it. As the more you delve on a technique of this sort, the more you can see it being more and more necessary, let's say. Because at the end of the day, it happens that at first you might think you can only gain knowledge from people that is truly related to you, then later on you can extract lessons from those who are of closer similar hobbies like yours or hobby aspirations like yours, and after time you can even try to see that connections exist even when things don't even seem to be that related. And after even more time, you can incredibly see that not, I don't know if so many, but simply in occasions you can find yourself dealing with stuff like, wow, this particular one thing is truly beneficial to me, let's say, and not because it is related to me, not because it is related to what I am going through, not because any of that, but simply just because it contains something that can be extrapolated into my personal objectives or personal experiences, and now I can run faster, let's say, because I have this tool under my belt, and this particular almost boost has been added into my whole arsenal of things to utilize and to keep having at mind whenever I find myself in situations in which I need them to exist, basically. Because I mean, that is kind of the crazy thing also, that those things are real, and that in pretty much almost all the times you need to have stuff like that existing. But if you don't practice something of that sort, you might as well not find it to be true, I guess. And I don't know, I guess the only problem is also to see that although you might have it, those who are close to you might not have the chance of finding it to be real, I guess. But, and yeah, I would say probably that is kind of the next advancement, to see how beneficial it was to you, and also to give it to others, because you notice that it doesn't need to be held back, let's say, and it doesn't need to be kept a secret, but rather, the more you share about it, the more not only you can keep doing it, but the rest of the world might as well have the possibility, or at the very least, not the whole world, but the rest of your society, your community might have the chance of solving those same problems, or their particular ones, because also, going back to it, we are individuals still, and we are dealing with the stuff that might seem related yet unique one from each other, so yeah. But by giving that tool to the masses, you also allow them to start to work on the different worlds that they have and get rid of all those problems that they can solve and focus on new ones that end up allowing them, let's say, to keep even more obviously striving for even bigger problems that might as well not only be theirs as, I mean, even in this particular example, you decided that the next problem was, okay, I solved all of my problems, that now my problem is to solve the problem that exists in society, let's say. But I don't know, I think in some cases also the problem itself here, for example, is how I might be presenting it, because I know that what I am saying resonates with me personally, on a very personal level, but I don't know if somebody else might as well see it like that, or simply will feel that, what? I have that many responsibility. What the fuck? I can't keep living like this. And I gave rather a completely negative explanation about something that could hold any particular potential. So yeah, I don't know. Let me see how much I have been doing this. Almost a whole hour of painting a fucking plaza. This is quality content. Yeah, I don't know. Almost no, directly an hour. Amazing. I don't know. I lose my mind here. After the 500 loop, I started to lose my mind, I think. And yeah, kind of crazy. I don't know. What a crazy thing it is to see that stuff, most of the time, at least in this era, is going to be preserved for quote unquote an eternity, taking into consideration that we don't live more than, in the best of the cases, 100 years. In the most unique ones, I think it was around 120, and in the average, 80 years. It is crazy to see that information might as well keep existing for over 300, 500 years, something that really is kind of crazy to perceive. I mean, a generation, I think it is only 30 years, 40 years, something like that. And to see that you might as well live for more than 10 generations, or what you did might as well be present for more than 10 generations, is kind of crazy. I guess the only kind of problem that I always think about when we try to discuss something of that sort is sadly the impending necessity that some people has to delete all of their achievements, or delete and also delete all of the different experiences that they had. I wouldn't say that they are simply going against what was pre-established, but rather, in that same sense, we lack a proper understanding about why it is necessary to conserve and to preserve all of those different types of data more than anything else. And I will guess that it is just crazy to notice that we are kind of losing every single day between what is still not being archived and not only what isn't being archived in the sense of, wow, you should start recording in real life. No. What isn't being archived that is being already streamed, recorded, created, all of those things are not being preserved properly, and all of those things are being lost in the annals of time for generations to come that might as well have any possible in going back into it, noticing that your life also serves the purpose of providing good examples and good guidance to others, seeing that we're not properly storing all of that stuff is kind of detrimental, I will say. And not simply detrimental, kind of fucking depressing in a sense, because what if we have already found some solutions, and because we decided to not record them properly, they didn't maintain themselves through time? And I don't know, in that same sense, also something that appears in my mind when I try to talk about it is the supposedly existing concept of if something were to really be good, it will be very well known, as in somehow things by the nature of themselves are bound to be kept alive. I don't know. I guess so, but I mean, no, yeah. One of the few good examples is, for example, what was it? The Roman concrete. It was something that was lost, and after how much time? I think since the Romans, almost 10 decades. No, how is it said? How do you say the 100 years? Oh my god, I can't remember. After so much time, simply the point stands still. After so much time, we have finally found solutions to this problem, and we have finally found how it is that they made it. But I mean, we we could have done so hundreds of years ago, and we could have gained the benefits that we are finally reaping nowadays, instead of having to be kind of without any proper aim about how to recreate those techniques in our life, and even more utilize those tools in a proper way. But I don't know. I guess, yeah, the responsibility lies in the hands of everybody to see how they can try to do something of that sort, and it still doesn't really make it in any particular way something easy. But yeah, very crazy. And also, I am having some needs, some potato physical needs, so I think we're going to call it here. I think, and well, I think if not, I might as well try to keep going some more minutes before really having to leave. I guess, I don't know. Okay. We're going to blend all of this stuff, and after that, yeah, we're going to quote unquote call it a day. But give me a second. Normal. What did I use? Blur? No. I used this, no? Yeah. Let me try a 10, because the 20th felt too abrasive, let's say. Yeah, this looks a little bit better than the other one. This doesn't destroy the composition that much, I guess. Not that I guess I see it. So, well, give me a second. Something like this. Yeah. This looks incredibly more better than before, compared to the other one, at the very least. And I guess kind of a type of problem is that because I have so many details, I can notice them, in the sense of, wow, sometimes I don't know if I am doing a proper job at hiding the tinier details. Like, for example, here you can notice the loops still. But I don't know, I guess not worrying that much is also part of the process, you know? I guess. I don't know. I didn't use this shit. I used the fucking smear. I just noticed. Wait. I know why, yeah. Kind of hard to do it, because I have to do individual clicks, and it gets hard to do something like that. Let me. Yeah, no, I prefer this. I don't have to move the mouse that much. And I don't have to over worry about moving something too far and ruining a whole space that was perfectly filled with color. Okay. I think, okay, that is done, but now I need also to fix all of this mess that I created over here with the smear tool, kind of my own problem created by myself. But anyways, I don't know, kind of crazy to see that trying to fill the void of words. I think I want, not I think I know, I want to go back to more entertaining stuff than this stuff here. I don't know how much more we're going to be here, and I guess trying to do our best is part of the process, but it's kind of hard to do it sometimes, you know? So yeah, anyways. With this, wait, give us a second. Okay, yeah, with this, now I can finally say we are, at least for this particular stream, done. Let me see. I kind of fucked up over here also, but I will probably keep it like that. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, there it is. Very, very nice looking park. Or not even half of the fucking park. I love it. How much could this be? Like a fifth, a quarter? A fifth, I guess. Or between a fifth and a quarter. Something of that sort. But yeah, let us get over here, because I also need to save the project, and I need to not have Krita crash while trying to do so. So let's give it a moment. Krita, please don't crash. I love you, Krita. Don't crash, Krita. Krita. I know that you're trying to crash, Krita. Yeah. Don't. Oh my god. Application stopped. When was the last time that it auto saved? Okay. 60. Oh, okay. No. We didn't crash. We're fine. Oh man. What a nice thing it is to be anxious about stuff going bad. Anyways, also, the project will be like 90 megabytes. I just saw, or not that I just saw, I noticed earlier. This is going to be a problem. I don't think Twitter allows that much image quality, you know? So, I don't know how we are going to deal with that. I have been trying to avoid that idea. That really big problem idea. But anyways, man. Yeah, kind of depressing it will be to see that it will get compressed into a shitty quality. But anyways, at the very least we are still making it exist, and we are making it progress into anything in particular. Now, yeah, I have some potato physical needs. So we're going to do the most necessary thing, that is to rate someone. After that, we're going to leave, and after that, we're going to, after some hours, like how many? 5-6 hours, we're going to get back here and keep doing. No. Yeah. Around 5 hours, yeah. Around 5 hours. Sorry for freaking out. Around 5 to 6 hours, we're going to get back here and to progress, doing whatever it is that we enjoy doing here. In these occasions, it is simply art. So yeah, basically that. But yeah, I don't think that much. I can add that much more to here. Let me now simply think. Where is it that we are going to read? I guess yeah. And although we are progressing incredibly slowly, sometimes it is still enjoyable. I would say. I don't know completely how to feel about it every single time. Every single one of the occasions, but putting our intentions forward and making it advance is at the very least better than nothing, I would say. So yeah, we are do I have something else? Let me check. Give me a second. No, okay, properly we have, let me see. Okay, we only have this place to go, quote unquote only, or more like the most logical thing is to go here, to raid. Let me set up the raid itself. Also, I kind of quote unquote recently learned about how to properly say this name, so I will do my best at the such show. That is to pronounce Severin Naharin Rahemni. So yeah, we are going to raid there. There it is. We're going there. We're going to take some tiny break. We're going to get ourselves entertained with that. As always, it was very nice to be here. It was very entertaining, but I don't think it was that sad to see that we have to leave, you know? At the end of the day, we have the possibility of progressing with all of our project here. And even more, as always, to discuss interesting stuff. So yeah, as always, once again, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, thanks for looking, thanks for watching the world, thanks for every precious gift that is done every single time. I guess, yeah. Now we're simply leaving to take a break. Remember to stay safe, remember to stay nice, stay hydrated, to stay healthy if it is possible. And yeah, as I said, wait, do I have the bot working? Can I do this? Bots? Why does it not work? Anyways, we're reading who Severin Nasserni doing what is he playing? I didn't check that. Escape from Tarkov. So yeah, we're going there. Thanks for everything, as always. Well, now this is going to getting to a closure, but whenever we can, we're going to be back here to get ourselves entertained once again. And until that moment arrives, we shall simply keep ourselves nice. And if it doesn't happen, at the very least, we enjoy being here. So yeah,